Good morning, afternoon, when you're watching this from. Yep, in the camper van, gonna do a video, so excuse the noise. It is raining outside, so it shouldn't be too bad. Gonna talk about a touchy subject for some. Is the wedding industry broken? No, I don't think it is, but I do think that there is a disconnect between people's budget, expectations and values. And that's what I want to talk about today. So first off on the slide, let me just position this. There we go. We have our budget, and that is essentially how much money you have to spend totally. Now you're going to split that up into various things: venue, photographer, videographer, food, if it's external catering, venue, dressing, dress, shoes, makeup, suits, socks, loads and loads of different things. But that overall budget, some of those budgets relatively to you may be quite high, they may be quite small. The average industry wedding is around about £25,000-30,000, but a lot of that depends on where you live in the country for that average price. So the next slide is all about your expectations. What do you expect for your wedding? What do you expect for your budget? And people are going to have completely different expectations on what they want to spend and what they're going to get for that money. And that's where those expectations differ. You may think that spending £10,000 on a 17th, 18th century stately home with huge grounds that has inclusive catering, inclusive hire of chivalry chairs, inclusive venue dressing, inclusive napkins, cutlery, etc. is too much. Other people may bite your hand off. We all have different expectations. And that's really important to start thinking about your expectations and your budget. How do they match? And the last slide, or the second to last slide, is your value system. What is it that you value as an individual for your wedding? Now, if you are organising a wedding and you want to do it for under £8,000, easy. If you want to do it for £80,000, easy. If you want to do it for £8 million, easy. If you want to do it for £800, easy. I think in the UK, if you just want to get married in a registry office, maximum, it's about £150. So your value system comes into play and says, what else do you want with that wedding? And then your expectations start kicking in, and then the budget starts kicking in. So I don't think that the wedding industry is broken per se. I do think there is a disconnect between what your budget is, your values are, and your expectations. And that's really, really important to start thinking about when you're looking at your overall look and feel of your wedding. What is it you want to happen at your wedding? What is it you want to look like at your wedding? How do you want your guests to feel at your wedding? What do you want to feel like at your wedding compared to everything else that goes into that? So when people start saying the wedding industry is broken, wedding suppliers cost an arm and a leg, or we're extortionate, or there's a wedding tax, and all of these very, very emotionally upsetting phrases, I think the issue is that disconnect. And that disconnect predominantly has been caused by social media pushing you to have something that you probably don't need, let alone don't want, but you've been influenced to get it. Hope that makes sense.